Meet Julia, a brave and resilient mother dog whose story is both heartbreaking and inspiring. She was found in a state that no animal should ever endure, yet her courage and the compassion of those who came to her aid turned her life around. Would Julia be able to make a full recovery? Be sure to keep watching. Julia had spent her life on a chain, neglected and deprived of freedom. She gave birth to her puppies while confined, enduring hardship after hardship. Despite her challenging circumstances, she continued to fight for survival. One day, she disappeared from her bleak surroundings, and no one knew what had become of her. Several weeks later, Julia was found again, but this time, she was crawling on her front paws, unable to use her hind legs. What happened to her during her disappearance remains a mystery. Her rescuer, Oksana, was devastated to see Julia in such a grave state. However, she refused to give up on her. Oksana immediately took Julia to a veterinary hospital for an examination. The medical team ran multiple tests, including consultations with specialists and a CT scan. The results revealed a glimmer of hope. Julia still had some sensitivity in her hind legs. This meant there was a chance she could regain mobility, but she would need surgery to repair the damage. For Oksana, the news was bittersweet. While the possibility of recovery gave her hope, the cost of the surgery, 20,000 rubles, was overwhelming. Oksana didn't have the resources to cover the expenses, but she was determined not to let Julia suffer. She began reaching out for help, sharing Julia's story with anyone who would listen. The day of the surgery arrived, and Oksana waited anxiously as the veterinary team worked to repair Julia's damaged leg. It was a delicate and complex procedure, but the doctors were determined to give Julia the best chance at recovery. Hours later, Oksana received the news she had been hoping for. The surgery was a success. Julia had come through the operation with flying colors, and her journey toward a new life had officially begun. The days following the surgery were critical. Julia needed rest, physical therapy, and round-the-clock care. Her foster home became a sanctuary where she could heal, surrounded by love and attention. 5 days after the operation, something incredible happened. Julia began to walk again. Her first steps were cautious, but as the days went on, she grew more confident. Seeing her wagging tail and bright eyes, it was clear that Julia's spirit was unbroken. With her recovery on track, Julia was ready for the next chapter of her life, finding a forever home. Oksana knew that Julia deserved more than just a safe place to live. She deserved a family who would cherish her, love her unconditionally, and never let her suffer again. Julia's story touched the hearts of many, and soon, a family stepped forward, eager to give her the life she deserved. They were drawn to her gentle nature and her resilience, promising to provide her with all the love and care she could ever need. As Julia left for her new home, Oksana couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. She was sad to say goodbye to the dog she had fought so hard to save, but she was also filled with joy, knowing that Julia's future was bright. Julia's story is a testament to the power of compassion and the resilience of animals. Despite everything she endured, she never gave up. Her journey from a life of neglect to a loving home is a reminder that every animal deserves a chance at happiness. For Oksana, the experience was life-changing. Saving Julia reinforced her belief in the importance of rescuing and rehabilitating animals in need. She hopes that Julia's story will inspire others to take action, whether by adopting, fostering, or supporting rescue efforts in their communities. Julia's recovery was made possible by the generosity of people who believed in her and wanted to help. If you're moved by her story, consider contributing to your local animal rescue organizations or shelters. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference in the lives of animals like Julia. Caring for a dog, like Julia, goes beyond offering food and shelter. It's about nurturing a life that has endured immense hardship. Julia's story is a poignant reminder of why love, compassion, and responsibility are vital in giving animals a chance to thrive. Julia's story emphasizes on the importance of rehabilitation for animals. Rehabilitation gives them a second chance at a happy and healthy life, whether they're a stray dog with a broken leg, a cat with a chronic illness, or wildlife rescued from a damaged habitat. This process includes medical care, emotional support, and creating a safe place for them to heal, all of which are essential for their recovery and future well-being. Helping their bodies heal. One of the first steps in rehabilitation is addressing physical issues. Many rescued animals are hurt, sick, or malnourished. For example, a dog hit by a car might need surgery and physical therapy to walk again, while a malnourished kitten might require special food and vitamins to regain strength. Wild animals, like a bird with a broken wing, need specific treatments and exercises to help them fly again. Rehabilitation centers have trained vets and the right tools to provide this care. Sometimes, recovery takes weeks or months, involving follow-up treatments like hydrotherapy for dogs with joint problems or tailored diets for underweight animals. The goal is to help them live pain-free and active lives. Physical recovery is just one part of the process. Animals that have been abused or neglected often carry emotional scars. They might be scared of people, anxious, or aggressive. Rehabilitation helps them overcome these fears with patience, love, and training. For instance, a dog rescued from a cruel environment may have never known kindness. Gradually introducing them to gentle petting, playtime, and positive interactions can help rebuild their trust. Similarly, a cat used to living on the streets might need time to adjust to indoor life and feel safe. Animal behavior specialists are key in this process. They create personalized plans to address each animal's emotional needs, helping them feel more secure and confident. This not only improves their quality of life, but also makes it easier for them to find a loving home or thrive in the wild. Socialization is a big part of rehabilitation, especially for pets. Dogs and cats need to learn how to interact with people and other animals in positive ways. For animals that have been isolated or mistreated, this can take time. For pets, socialization might mean introducing them to new environments and people gradually, so they feel comfortable and confident. For wildlife, it's about teaching them survival skills like hunting or foraging, so they can return to their natural habitats safely. Rehabilitation doesn't just change the lives of individual animals, it inspires people too. When a rescued animal recovers, it's a powerful reminder of the difference compassion can make. These success stories often encourage others to support animal welfare by donating, volunteering, or adopting. Rehabilitation also helps the environment. Returning wildlife to their habitats supports ecosystems and biodiversity. For domestic animals, finding them homes reduces the strain on shelters, freeing up resources for others in need. Rehabilitation isn't always easy. It takes money, time, and skilled caregivers. Many centers rely on donations and volunteers to keep going. Some animals might not fully recover and need lifelong care in sanctuaries. And the emotional toll on caregivers can be heavy, especially when efforts don't succeed. But the joy of seeing an animal thrive after rehabilitation makes it all worthwhile. Knowing you've helped give them a second chance is an incredible reward. Everyone can play a part in animal rehabilitation. You can donate to local shelters, volunteer your time, or foster animals in need. Educating yourself and others about responsible pet ownership, spaying and neutering, and wildlife conservation can also make a big difference. Adopting a rescued animal is another wonderful way to help. When you open your home to an animal in need, you're giving them the love and stability they need to continue healing and thriving. Rehabilitation is about more than just fixing what's broken. It's about giving animals hope, health, and a chance at a better life. Whether through medical care, emotional support, or socialization, the effort transforms lives, both for the animals and the people who help them. By supporting rehabilitation, we can make sure every animal gets the second chance they deserve. Julia's transformation from a neglected, injured dog to a happy, healthy companion is a story of hope, determination, and love. Her journey reminds us that, with a little kindness and effort, we can make the world a better place. One life at a time. Thank you for watching Julia's story. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring animal rescue stories. Together, we can give more animals like Julia a second chance at life.